Hey, welcome to the Neka Said podcast. And if you're new here, I'm Neka Williams, a planner girl, mom to an 8-year-old husband, and a diehard Atlanta Falcons fan. At the end of 2016, I was happily fired from Amazon, which jumped off this online journey. After signing 2 clients within 10 days and booking out my services as a virtual assistant, I was thrown as the Facebook queen, and Coach Neka was born. All that to say, I'm a virtual assistant and a VA coach helping women realize they don't have to choose between work and their family. You can have both. And if you're looking for financial freedom while also having family focus, this is the podcast for you. You'll learn how to grow a business that fits into your personal life and not the other way around. Welcome back to another episode of the Neka Said podcast. And so today we're going to talk a lot about finding clients. How do you actually go out there and find clients? And this is kind of the number one way that I was able to actually sign 2 clients within 10 days of starting my virtual assistant business. And I talk about this step a lot, or this way a lot, when a lot of people are asking me, how can I quickly find clients? So you can definitely, there are so many ways as far as how you can find clients, but I found this has been the quickest way that I was able to actually find and sign clients, especially in the beginning stages of my business. So how can you quickly find clients online? The number one way that I teach to my clients is through cold email or cold messages. So I know a lot of people, when I kind of like throw that out there, they get kind of like fearful, scared, and they're like, okay, that is freaking scary, and I don't want to spam people. And that's like the number one thing that always jumps in their head is like spam. And so I kind of like talk about a little bit of this and like the ways that cold outreach and spam like differ. So it all depends on how you do it. It all depends on the conversation that you start up in their email or in their inbox. So if are you copying and pasting that same message to 500 and 1,000 people, then that's most likely spam. But if you go in with the intentions of actually wanting to build a genuine relationship with this person, and you actually do your research around this person, then that kind of like differs from spam to actually just reaching out to someone. And so here are my top 3 ways as far as how do I actually reach out to people? How do I actually build a cold email or message? And so my number one way is I definitely do my research. So when I find somebody that I want to work with, or I think will be a perfect client to work with, I research them. I do a little internet stalking. And so I look into their website, especially their About Me page, to figure out how they are as a person. Of course, I figure out like what type of business they have, but I also want to know if this is somebody that I will like enjoy working with. And so, and I also do this too to see if we can relate in any way. Like I want to hear their personality and their About Me page. And then I also check out like if they have any kind of videos or lives, especially to see if I can like match up with their personality. So yeah, I do a lot of research before I even send anything to the person. And I figure out how are they as a person. And then I figure out a little bit about their business. So what type of business do they have? What kind of products and services do they offer? How long have they been in business? Are they consistent on social media? And so I do a lot of digging in the beginning. And then I found out ways that I can help them too this way, which I'll lead into more later. But you want to research that person and get to know that person on the back end as much as possible. So when you do go in to start a conversation, you're well equipped with the what kind of information that you can use in your pitch. So I do my research, and then I kind of sit down, and when I'm ready to write the email or the message, I kind of put myself in the client's shoes. So what was something that I can include in this message or email that would kind of stand out if it was sent to me? Or something that I can say that will make me keep reading or want to read it. And so that's the number one thing is you have to think like a client, and you have to make sure that you are crafting that email or message in a way that will grab their attention. We really have like squirrel brain. And so our attention spans are really short, especially as a business owner who does not have as much time. So long emails or messages are kind of things that I would not want to read, especially if it's somebody I don't know. Like I have no connection with you. I don't have that much time to invest. So I don't want to read this super long email. And so I keep it very short and simple and to the point but I also let my personality show too. So you want to keep, that's number 3. You want to keep it very, very short, as short as possible, honestly. And you want to go, you want to keep it short and relate to that person. So when I am thinking about how to keep it short, relate to that person, and grab their attention. So when I'm thinking about how can I grab their attention first so that they are even want to read the email, I think about something that I want to tell them about themselves. So I think about something that I liked in their bio or in their business that I can relate to and say, hey, me too. Or I like what you're doing, or this was a super smart idea that you did on your blog post or Instagram, something that kind of strokes their ego, but something that I genuinely like too. So you want to grab their attention and talk about them because we like to hear about ourselves. So that's the number one thing that I do when I'm at the very beginning of an email or message. And then I kind of go into if I see anything that they're kind of struggling with that I know that I can help them with. So if they're struggling with being consistent or on social media or on their website, if I see that maybe there's ways that they can drive more traffic, or if there's ways that they can gain more emails, like on the email list, or any kind of ways that can kind of help them grow their business and be consistent in their business, then I want to point that out to them and say, hey, I can help you out with this, and this is how I can help. A bonus tip is if you have done it for yourself, a very similar situation or for a client, then I would definitely lead with that, because of course we like results, but we like relatable results. So something, so if it's something, a business that's super similar, a situation that's super similar, anything that's really similar to their struggle, then you want to emphasize on that. So that's what I go into next, is like a struggle and how I can help them out. And then I just close it with, reply if you want more information or if you want to set up a time to chat. So I make sure that I don't really give out too much information in the beginning, because if they are interested, they will reach out to you or reply or say, hey, how can we sit down and chat? If they want more information about your services. If they're really intrigued and they want to get this done, they will reach back out to you. They will reply to your email or your message. So keep it super short and to the point, and most importantly, relatable. Something that they can see themselves getting those results, or something that they know they're struggling with. And that is how I kind of set my cold outreach, message, email, whatever it is, and separate it from spam. So these ways or tactics will definitely take you longer than if you're spamming people. And that's why we don't want to spam people. And these will give you better results. So any kind of like copy and pasting, then you don't want to do that. If it's just the same message over and over and over again, then you don't want to do this. You definitely want to take your time with these and make sure you're reaching out to people who you like, who you really want to work with, and you like get to know that person a little bit before you guys jump on the phone. Because if you do your research in the beginning too, and which it will show in your email, then that kind of gives you a heads up too. If you guys do book a call, you'll already kind of know the person. And when you let that show a little bit on the call, they're like, oh man, she's already doing her work before we even have, sign a deal. Before we even agree to working together. So those are kind of my top tips for actually cold emailing. And if you need help with drafting or creating a cold email, then make sure you are a member of the Virtual Assistant Club Facebook group. And in the description of the Facebook group, there is a cold email template that you can click and grab. So go check that out. I will leave that in the links below. And if you have any kind of questions, make sure you share them in the group. Or follow me on Instagram or on Facebook at Coach Neka. But yeah, that's all I have for today, but I will see you on the next one. Thank you so much for joining me today, and make sure you check back next week for another amazing episode with actionable tips to grow your online business. In the meantime, leave a review and let me know your thoughts on today's episode. And if you want to see what I'm up to, check out my Instagram page at Coach Neka. Come hang out with other women on the same journey in the private free Facebook group, the Virtual Assistant Club. And remember, every day you're one step closer to the dream life you want. Keep going, girlfriend.